Namaste, Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, bonjour, hola, and come on England. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10. How are you? I hope you're well. Are you looking forward to the England game? I know I am. Or anxious might be a better word, actually. We'll see. We'll see. Let's hope it goes well. How are you? I hope you're well. Rumours of the death of the housing market are greatly exaggerated. That's what I'm here to tell you. There's lots of rumours about the housing market's going to fall by 20% next year and the like. And guess what? It's not. Why? Because there just isn't enough supply. And the level of that supply would have to increase so much to get anywhere near those kind of numbers that it's not going to happen. So I really do think that there's a great kind of panic about the housing market. And the reason is this, journalism is all about sensationalism. And if it's not sensational, then what's the point in publishing it? The housing market's going to be okay is not a headline that anyone wants to see. But in the reality, it is where we are. As far as the property market is concerned, yes, we've seen a drop off. And yes, it's going to be tough. And we've got a recession that's going to stick with us for at least a year, probably a couple, and tough times ahead for all of us in one way or another. But the property market has a resilience above most other markets. As we've seen with the stock market falling, property market's still there, rents are rising. Everybody said that everything would crash, including rents. That hasn't happened. Rents have gone up. And yes, interest rates have gone up as well. And often the reason rents have gone up for landlords is they're just protecting themselves against those meteoric rises in their own costs. And that's just how it is, I'm afraid. And it's quite frustrating, I know, for many tenants out there that can ill afford the utility bills, let alone the increases in rent as well. But unfortunately, when landlords have got massive cost jumps as well, then they have to pass on some of those costs. As far as the property market is concerned, yes, it's quieter, but guess what? It's the 9th of December, and by the way, it's Friday. And those of you who know me will know I love a Friday. Why do I love a Friday? What's the anticipation of the weekend ahead? It's the fact that it's a really, really important day for us as agents when we're making sure that if people are out there looking to buy or to rent, they're looking at our stock rather than our competitors. And that's really important to us to make sure our vendors and landlords are getting the best possible service from us and getting the best likelihood of the most money out of their rental property or indeed their sale property. And yes, it's quieter than it has been. And we can expect that trend to continue throughout December because in a normal market, and let's face it, in the last few years, hasn't really been a normal market. We expect it to quieten down in December. Why? Well, very few people move at this time of year, number one. Number two, if you're in a rental property already, then you're likely staying put because you don't want to go out there and look for another one with a huge rent increases that are around. There are lots of tenants out there looking and fitting. It's a matter of fitting pegs into holes, really. Not every property is right for every tenant and not every landlord is right for every tenant. It's trying to get those two things together. Sometimes landlords want multiple tenants for very large properties. Sometimes they want a family and will only go for a family. And in fact, unusually, we've got a property for sale at the moment where they will only consider a family as a buyer because they love their neighbours. They don't want to sell to an investor. They want a family that's going to live there, enjoy it and appreciate it and become part of that community. And that's really lovely to see. And we've had many people calling up about it and saying, well, what if I said I was a family? And our reaction to that was simply, well, we would tell them that you're not a family because you've already told us. That's not going to wash with us. So apart from that, it's really cold here in SW16. And yay, Ken, says Tarek. Hey, Tarek, hope you're well. And yeah, as far as the market's concerned generally, it's still, it's teetering along there. It's certainly not as busy as it has been. And, in many cases, we're saying, well, look, it might be the point where it's worth putting things on hold and approaching it again next year. And in many cases, actually, what we're finding is that agents are still valuing at 10% more than the current market. And of course, in a rising market, that's great. But when the market's level or fallen off a bit, it's the worst thing you can possibly do is overprice a property. And you just end up in that position where your property is out of kilter with the rest. So if you're on the market, you're not getting any reaction at all, then you should be looking at the wider market. How do you do that? Well, have discussions with your agents as to what's going wrong, what's going right, what can be done about it. And one of the ways you can do that is put your own postcode into Rightmove. Do a search. See what's out there, how you compare. Are there other things like your home that are the same price or less or more? And how do you compare? Try and put yourself in the mindset of that buyer. How does this one compare with the other ones available? We can talk all day long about what's sold and comparables and all the rest of it, but the buyer can't see what's already gone, can they? They can't go and view that because it's not available. They can only see what is available. So you need to ask yourself how what you have compares with the rest of the market. Is it presented well? Are the photographs sharp and professional? Is the agent handling it correctly? Are they proactive? Are they making sure, as we do, that everybody possible is getting a call and getting out to view it if they're actively looking? You know, in a quieter market, the most important thing is we make the best of the resources available to us. And that's what we do here at JA. Make sure that we're driven to get the best results for our client. And if you're not getting the very best results, then you're speaking to the wrong agent. Give us a call. Even if you're not in our area, we're happy to give you hints, tips, and tricks. Of course, with a podcast as well, which I'm going to be working on today with the latest edition. So that's it for today. Hope you're well. Have a fantastic weekend up the England, and we'll be back on Monday with another edition. Until then, look after yourself, your family, and friends. Ciao.